Hi, welcome. This is the continuation of my campaign featuring From the Ashes. This is a solo campaign, and the systems that I am using in this campaign will be detailed in the videos in the description below. In the description of this video you will also find the playlist that takes you to the other parts of this campaign. Now you may remember from last time, Corvus decided to enter this pyramid. After recovering from the fight with the purple worm, Corvus approaches the pyramid. It is a vast edifice of cut sandstone, each stone the size of a man. An open entranceway can be seen at the foot of the pyramid. It seems to be the only way in. Corvus lights his lamp and heads inside. Going through the entrance, Corvus notices that, at one time, a block of sandstone was probably used to seal the pyramid, because there was a block just the size of the entrance outside. To each side of the entrance, two human-sized statues of corpse-like appearance look menacingly at anyone who enters. After moving 140 feet into the main hallway, Corvus notices a doorway to the north, and you may remember that Corvus's objective is to find and eliminate the enemy of the woman that decided to spare his life by letting him fight in the Colosseum against the purple worm. But Corvus's actions will be determined by the results of the oracle. So I made a roll to see what he obtained, and he got Improve Fair Student. My interpretation is this: Corvus considers it fair to study as much of the pyramid as possible in order to improve his chances of survival. So instead of continuing down the hallway, he chooses to go through the doorway instead. The doorway leads into a room of ritual significance, with murals depicting figures that are kneeling before some strange figures that are probably deities or gods of some sort, although they are quite monstrous, with alien shapes and hideous countenances. There are a few empty straw beds scattered about the floor. Other than that, the room appears to be empty. Corvus crosses the room and moves into a corridor with a couple of doors in its south wall. Both of the doors are made out of sandstone and slide to the side quite easily when applying a bit of force on them. Corvus opens the first door, and he enters what appears to be a small study, now fallen to ruin. There are a few books on embalming and funerary rites containing no information of great use. However, there is also a bottle labeled Healing. I made a roll to see what would happen. I obtained Identify Diabolical Flame. Due to Corvus's helpful stance on the attitude tracker, Corvus decides to pick up the bottle, but will not drink it until it is properly identified. Who knows if it's a diabolical substance that could burn Corvus's throat or guts when imbibed. Corvus keeps walking and enters the next door. It appears to be an embalming room filled with various jars. Looking at fluids and tools placed on the table, as well as herbs and bandages, it is clear that the jars contain the shriveled organs of the dead. Corvus exits the room. He continues west down the hallway through another door and notices he could go south or through a door on the west side. I made a roll to see what would happen. I obtained Rearrange Fair Stockpile. My interpretation was this: Corvus considers that there could be a stockpile of goods, a fair assessment considering the contents of the other rooms. Perhaps he can rearrange some of those goods by taking a few of them if they are useful. He decides to go through the west door. Behind the door, there is a ceremonial chamber. It is old and dusty, but silken drapes and tapestries still adorn it, although tattered and half-eaten by moths. There are also a few gilded embellishments on the walls. However, they are chipped and blackened by some sort of soot. I made a roll to see what would happen. I obtained Cleanse Intact Vault. Out of pity, Corvus cleans up the embellishments, trying to imagine how this vault of mystery once looked when it was intact. While doing this, Corvus was successful in his perception roll, finding a secret room on the north wall containing a spiral staircase leading up. I made a roll to see how Corvus would proceed. I obtained Return Cautious Goodness. By finding the staircase, Corvus is at his most positive attitude on the tracker, and he decides to return to the ceremonial chamber instead of going up. It is better to be cautious and see if he finds something good or useful in this first floor. And this concludes the session for today. It was somewhat short. Corvus doesn't know it, but he's quite close to some dangerous encounters. So let's see what happens during the next session. Well, thanks for watching this continuation of my solo campaign. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending Drive-Thru RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.